to Green Scholar. If you understand the subject, do subscribe and like the channel. Thank you. Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the cell organelle. In earlier lectures we have discussed about the cell wall, plasma membrane, and inside the cell wall or inside in any cell like in eukaryotic or prokaryotic cell, you will have different cell organelles. So what are cell organelles? These cell organelles are nothing but tiny organs which are present inside the cell. So there are different cell organelles which are present like Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, chloroplast. Specifically in the plant cell you will find the chloroplast is present, ribosome and lysosome. Okay, for today's lecture we will discuss about the Golgi complex. There is no specific meaning of Golgi, but it is named after the scientist, that is Camillo Golgi, who discovered the Golgi complex in 1898. Earlier, when the Golgi complex was studied, it was just based on its network-like structure. It was called as dictyosomes, but later it was named after the scientist's name, that is Camillo Golgi, and today we know it as a Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus. Okay, so there are different names. So no matter which you use, either Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus. Okay, so you might know that in your city there is a post office. Okay, what is the role of post office? So though we have today the mobile, but there is always a post office in any city. So what is the role of post office? It actually receives the messages, it packs and it sends and delivers to the exact location wherever it is required. Not just a random place the message or the parcel will be delivered. Similarly, in the cell there is a Golgi complex which receives, packs, sends and delivers the protein to different, either inside the cell or outside the cell. Okay, so that's why Golgi complex is also called as post office of the cell. So it will be easy for you to remember what is the function of Golgi complex. It receives, packs, sends and delivers the protein within the cell or outside the cell. Okay, so next is structure of Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is generally located near the nucleus. Suppose if this is the nucleus, here around in nucleus you will find there is endoplasmic reticulum, and to this endoplasmic reticulum there is this Golgi complex, and this Golgi complex is near to the plasma membrane. So these all are connected to each other, they are associated with each other. Okay, so structurally Golgi complex can have two different parts. One is flattened membrane bound sac-like cisternae. When we are saying sac-like, it means you might have seen the sacs having filled the grains in that, and they are just piled upon one upon the other. Okay, so that's same like that the cisternae are being structured in that Golgi complex structure, and these cisternae or a flattened membrane like structure, what they will do, they just create small rounded body around them. Okay, and these are nothing but called as vesicles. So they are the small rounded structure that just cut off from the cisternae by the method called as blebbing or budding off. Generally in competitive exam it is asked that how the vesicles are being found. So you can say that it is the method called as blebbing. Okay, remember this. So if we see diagrammatically, the Golgi complex is, suppose if this is the nucleus, the plasma membrane, and it is being surrounded by again the cell wall. Okay, and here you will find that Golgi complexes are there made up of cisternae and these vesicles. Again, if we see the structure of this, you will find there is a cis phase and a trans phase, that is maturing and a forming phase. And from this ends of the cisternae, the vesicles are generally just bud off. Okay, and they liberate, and these vesicles, they just stores or secretes the protein, and inside this cisternae you will find that there is a lumen. Okay, and in this lumen all the proteins are being secreted. Okay, so this is the simple structure of Golgi complex. We will again see the larger form of the diagram. So now coming to the last part, that is functions. Okay, if we see the Golgi complex, as I mentioned earlier only, it works as a post office of the cell. So but there are different other functions also. One is modification of lipid and proteins received from the endoplasmic reticulum. Just imagine that these all cell organelles inside the cell, they form a kind of a channel. Okay, one like you might have played a game of Kho when you are small. So you, unless and until you give the Kho to the other person, it will not proceed. Similarly, like from nucleus, the message will be passed to your endoplasmic reticulum, from endoplasmic reticulum to the Golgi complex, from Golgi complex to plasma membrane. Okay, so during all these passing, okay, there will be always a modification of lipid and protein so that they can easily transferred. Okay, second function is sorting and packaging. It's very important function of the Golgi complex. The sorting of the protein, which decides that to which location the protein needs to be transferred, and packaging is done in vesicles. So with the help of vesicle, the covering, the proteins are being transferred with the help of vesicles. Okay, next is secretion. Secretion means storing. Okay, so vesicle secretes and transport material outside the plasma membrane. Fourth is lysosome formation. So the vesicles which are formed in this Golgi complex, they just mature. Okay, once they mature, they just turn into the primary lysosome. Okay, and the fifth function, the cell wall formation. So during like cell division, when the new daughter cells are being produced, okay, the cell wall is it needs certain chemical constituent, that is pectin and hemicellulose. So during this formation of cell wall, Golgi complex synthesizes the pectin and hemicellulose. Next is renewal of plasma membrane. The plasma membrane, which is again outer layer of the cytoplasm. Okay, so it generally renews by the Golgi complex. So it helps to form new plasma membrane, new cell wall. Okay, and the last, as I mentioned earlier also, it helps in the storage of temporary proteins and lipid. Like in your house also, there is a kind of a storehouse where you just store different kinds of things which will be required in the future. So for that purpose, similarly, in Golgi complex also, the proteins and lipids are being stored. Okay, so we will just see how structurally it looks. Okay, if you see the Golgi apparatus, you will find there is a cis phase and the trans phase at the top. Okay, in the cis phase, which is also called as a forming phase, the younger cisternae will be present at the forming phase, and the vesicles are over here. Cisternae, which are present in here, the tube-like, sac-like structures. Inside the cisternae, there is a lumen where the proteins are being secreted. Once the time arrives, these secreted proteins are just moved out with the help of secretory vesicles. If the protein is transferred from one cell to the other outside the cell, it is exocytosis. Forming within the inside or inside the cell, that is endocytosis. Okay, similarly lysosome, which contains the hydrolytic enzyme which will be required for degradation of the complex molecules. Okay, so structurally Golgi complex have cisternae, vesicles, and like secretory vesicles. Cis phase, trans phase. Cis phase is a forming and trans phase is a maturing phase. So hope you understood. If you understand and like this channel, do like and subscribe.